These strange seeds are going viral on social media. People are eating them and losing 10, 30, even up to 150 pounds, melting away stubborn fat they have been carrying around for decades in a short span of time. Scientists couldn't explain the dramatic weight loss people were experiencing, and after testing several theories, doing numerous in-depth scans, they realized the source of the problem was something terrifying happening in their intestines. Did you know that every time you use your water to shower or to brew a coffee, or even to drink it, you are ingesting millions of dangerous parasites? That's right, your tap water is contaminated by mutated bacteria and other microorganisms that are a sword hanging over the heads of Americans. The water infrastructure in the US is so worn down, it is rotting away in the ground, contaminating every gallon of water that passes through it. It's a $204 billion cover-up by authorities who don't want to fork up the money to fix this issue. This seed is proven to kill off parasites, which some medical experts are calling the #1 hidden epidemic in the US. Ancient tribal cultures like the Mayans have used this to flush out parasites for centuries. In fact, the Mayans considered these seeds so powerful, they called the plant the tree of life. Some legends tell of this fruit bringing people back from the brink of death. And it doesn't look far-fetched to science now, considering this fruit reduces the risk of heart disease, improves blood glucose control in people with diabetes, lowers blood pressure, and improves wound healing. These strange seeds have gone viral on Facebook, Instagram, and even TikTok amongst younger adults. But the backlash from the authorities was swift. Many of the health and fitness experts talking about parasites have had their accounts banned, their videos taken down, and even their emails suspended for speaking the truth about this in the open. My name is Michael Clark, and I too did not believe parasites were a problem. But I was shocked and furious to find out how we've all been lied to about our drinking water and how our tap water is teeming with parasites. I first discovered this when my wife landed in the ER with toxic shock syndrome after doing a sample natural at home detox program and was flooded with dead parasites in her body. I'm not a medical doctor and I'm not a healthcare expert. I'm just a regular firefighter, and I fought hard to save my wife when no one else thought it possible, because no doctor knew exactly what was wrong with her. I will reveal to you the newly discovered secret parasite that is causing much of the obesity crisis in America today. Plus, in the next 10 minutes, I will also show you how to eliminate parasites up to 458% faster, return to your baseline weight 8 times quicker than on diets, while safely evicting thousands of parasite eggs and parasites from your intestines. This might sound unbelievable, but my wife Judith used this to lose 113 pounds in 2 months. If you've been battling uncontrollable weight gain, bloating, IBS, inflammation of the gut, stomach problems, constipation or diarrhea, blood sugar problems, fatigue, and sleeping problems, then you need to stick with me and discover how to flush out the source of all of these problems safely and naturally once and for all. Studies published in the medical journal Endocrinology, Diabetes, and Obesity, as well as molecular and cellular proteomics, have looked into how newly mutated parasites found in drinking water cause dramatic calorie storage and rapid weight gain.
This cleanse has been a lifesaver. I was exhausted by all the stomach problems and the constant cravings. I felt guilty, depressed, and always tired. After this cleanse, I could watch the scale numbers free fall every day, and I lost more than 83 pounds. I'm back to my high school dress size, if you can believe it.
My wife had a really hard time convincing me to do a cleanse. I never believed in these natural solutions, and I never thought I had parasites. But what I saw coming out of my body was disgusting. After this protocol, I felt like a new man. At the end of the cleanse, I got rid of 52 extra pounds without much effort at all.
I did at least one detox a year for the past 20 years. This is the first time I did not feel sick during the cleanse. And none of the previous detoxes made me feel so energized. And the best part? I lost over 180 pounds without giving up any of my chocolate fudge Pop-Tarts, which are my all-time favorites.
All my work was worth it, not only because it saved my wife Judith, but also because I get to hear stories like these every day. 42,505 Americans have tried it already and have managed to lose weight and clean their bodies from the inside. Just think of how good you'll feel when you say goodbye to the bloating, the stomach groaning, the mouth-watering cravings, and the constipation problems, and all the extra pounds. No more feeling out of control with your diet or your body. Instead, you will get to decide how much you want to eat and what kind of food you want. Your gut will be running smoothly, passing everything with no effort, like skiing down a clean slope. You'll be active again, traveling, gardening, playing with your kids and grandkids, because you are no longer carrying around parasites that steal your vitamins and minerals, depriving you of energy and wearing you down. And because this flush will help you also keep the parasites out by not allowing them to hide inside of you undetected. You'll be rid of yo-yo diets and you'll be able to eat all your favorite foods worry-free. All the pizza, all the burgers and ice cream you want, because your body will no longer be storing the excess calories for the parasite to feast on later. You've never heard about this flush before, but it has existed for centuries before in numerous tribal cultures. From the Mayan to the Indians and even the Pacific Islanders, most tribal shamans had this particular mix of seeds and medicinal flushing herbs to rid the body of parasites and keep it clean. And I will show you in the next few minutes which ones you absolutely need in your home. I want you to be able to fight back. Listen, the gut-wrenching truth is that the American pipes are rotten, full of rat feces, lead, rust, and biofilm that are the breeding ground for some of the most dangerous parasites to date. Imagine what would happen if red-blooded Americans found out that their water quality is as bad as some regions in India and Madagascar. Think how entire countries would react if they knew authorities were not addressing parasites in the water, but filling away complaints as if they never even saw them. They would have to fork up hundreds of billions of dollars and fix the pipes immediately, and they are terrified at the costs. Water experts have calculated that fixing the water pipes in the southern US alone will cost $204 billion. And you'll be outraged when you finally realize most weight loss solutions can't work as long as you have parasites in your body. They will not work as long as you are not in control of your own gut. It's like trying to convince a hungry pit bull that is to stop eating meat and go vegetarian. The parasites know what they need to eat and what they need to survive. They want you plump and full of fats and sugars so that they never run out of food supplies. Endocrinology experts explain that parasites secrete specific enzymes in your body that act as a decoy to the immune system. That way, they are never seen by the immune cells in your gut. They also release other enzymes that trigger your liver and spleen to think that you are getting starved of vital nutrients. This way, the parasites basically take over your ability to decide when and what to eat. Have you ever started eating at random hours or not feeling full even if you eat good portions? That is the hand of parasites messing with your cravings and your gut. And they are actually starving you out because they are munching away at all the vitamins and minerals you should be getting. That is why the more parasites and parasite eggs you have in your gut, the more fatigued, tired, and unable to concentrate you become. All the zinc, magnesium, and vitamins A, B6, B12, D, and E are favored snacks of the parasites. They will intoxicate you and tell your body that it is getting starved until they have their way. It's time you took back control of yourself. Now is the moment. Are you ready? As I said before, my name is Michael Clark. I'm 43 years old and I live with Judith, the love of my life, and our lovely daughter Hannah, close to Houston, Texas. After our daughter was born, 10 years ago, my wife slowly started gaining weight and having food cravings. She had never been a size 0, but she was quite happy with her weight before the pregnancy. I had started gaining weight too, but as a firefighter, I was always running around doing drills, so I never paid much attention to it. For Judith, it all changed after the baby, but I never minded her weight gain because I loved her no matter what. On the other hand, she was devastated. She struggled to lose the pounds and told herself it must be the pregnancy hormones that caused her weight to skyrocket. She tried every diet out there and became obsessed with eating healthier. But she often found herself giving in to her cravings and felt ashamed and defeated. She promised herself she would give up sugar, but would get back home from the supermarket with a bucket of ice cream. She even went to the doctor and got weight loss pills, but those made her feel nauseous and she started having trouble sleeping. All the while, she tried various detoxes and health supplements, convinced that if she cleansed her body, it would help her get her health in check. Especially since she was constantly in pain and discomfort because of bloating, stomach problems, and constipation. Her doctor told her that if she did not get her eating habits in check, she would end up with type 2 diabetes because her test results were getting worse year after year. The detoxes definitely helped and gave her hope, so I supported her. I could see that after a detox, she was the lively Judith I had first fallen in love with. She had energy to run around the backyard with Hannah. She started making plans for vacations or home renovations, and she was visibly slimmer. But the effects only lasted for a couple of weeks at a time, and then she would have to start all over again with a new detox. And at the beginning of each one, she would feel sick and drained of energy. I worried constantly about her. She kept assuring me that it was normal, and I would read articles online that said the same thing. It's part of the detox to feel sick in the beginning, and the problems would soon go away. I wanted to be supportive of her weight loss journey, and I never opposed any decision she took, but my worst nightmare happened about a year ago. She started on this juice detox, and to be honest, even got me convinced to try a few of the recipes because they seemed so healthy and delicious. But after the second day, it was clear that she was not feeling very well at all. I didn't get alarmed because I expected it. But by that evening, I noticed she had a fever when I touched her. I immediately thought to myself, this is not normal. But she kept trying to convince me that it's not a problem. Her body was just clearing the toxins. Right before getting into bed, I saw her sitting in the bathroom with her toothbrush in her hand, and she looked like she'd never even seen a toothbrush before and had no clue what it was. I called out her name and she didn't respond at all, like she had no clue who she was. And that's when I really started panicking. We landed straight in the ER, where they kept asking me if she had any cuts or if she'd been on her period. I didn't understand what the hell was happening and kept telling the doctors that it's the detox. She's been on a detox and it's making her sick. One of the nurses literally laughed in my face and told me detoxes are just for bored housewives. They don't actually do anything. What was happening to my wife was not related. I was so angry and upset, but I had no time to argue with them. I had to care for my wife. Luckily, they managed to stabilize her for the night and concluded that she had suffered toxic shock syndrome from an unknown cause. But I knew the cause. It was definitely the detox she'd been on. You can't be dumb enough to think something like that is a coincidence. While she lay on the floor bed, on antibiotics and drips, I started going on the forums looking for an answer. The doctors were clearly not going to take me seriously anytime soon, and I needed answers fast. So I posted everywhere, trying to get answers. I went to detox Facebook groups, reaching out to juicing and cleansing specialists. I looked everywhere until a few kind people reached back to me, and they all started pointing me to support groups and pages about parasites. Everyone was telling me that Judith's symptoms seemed to match what happens when parasites die inside the gut. I reacted like how most react when they first heard of parasites, thinking to myself, my wife doesn't have parasites. We live in a civilized country. We had always lived in large cities and were raised in clean families. How could we possibly have parasites? But so many people were insisting that I look into it that I simply had to check it out. And the more I read, the more disappointed and angry I became. Because experts can't even precisely say how many Americans have parasites right at this very moment. Estimates vary from 50% to 80% of Americans infected, and the numbers might be even bigger. But how could this happen right here in the United States? And why doesn't the public know about this? Why is the entire country not getting treatment for this? Asking precisely these questions and digging for weeks is how I managed to paint the whole picture. While Judith was still recovering at home and getting out of the hospital, I read about the water quality in the United States. Some compare it to third world countries. That's because most of our water systems are out of date. I talked to some water infrastructure specialists that were moved by my wife's story and my pleas to get to the bottom of the problem for her sake. That is how I learned that the American Society of Civil Engineers has conducted studies showing the pipes are being replaced at a rate of 0.5% per year. That means it would take 200 years to replace the entire system, but pipes expire after 50 to 75 years. At this rate, There won't be any pipes at all that don't carry all sorts of garbage, rust, biofilm, and God knows what else. Drinking contaminated water will be the norm in no time. And the reason why authorities are not moving faster to keep our water clean and safe? You guessed it, money. Two powerful industries, plastic and iron, are locked into a lobbying war over an estimated $300 billion that local governments will spend on water and sewer pipes over the next decade. While they are fighting it out to see who will get these massive contracts, the average water Americans drink is sometimes of a worse quality than you would find in India or Africa. And local authorities are letting the lobbyists fight it out until the prices go down enough to be more affordable. Otherwise, the more than $300 billion has got to come from budgets that are already stretched. Not to mention all the pipes that are under streets and lawns, out of sight, out of mind. So none of the average Americans can really see and know the truth about the terrible water we have every day. So while our water systems stay contaminated and unrepaired, they also become breeding grounds for even bigger threats. I have not only done deep research into these hidden outbreaks and violations, but I've uncovered information about a newly emerging parasite that has mutated in our pipes. The information is barely becoming known in science circles, but this new type of parasite has been observed in samples of water from drinking water pipes. That means it's thriving in the very water you drink, cook with, and brew your coffee with. The purest water we should be getting. It is a threat far more dangerous than hookworms, Cryptosporidium, Giardia, roundworms, and tapeworms, and it is not tested for in any kind of regular screenings. That means that your gut could be full of this parasite and you'd have no way of knowing other than looking out for the symptoms. Part of the family of parasites, Schizosoma, the worms infect people who come into any contact with the contaminated water. It penetrates their skin and can cause liver damage. The telltale sign is weight gain that cannot be shifted. No matter how much you exercise or try to eat healthy, you just can't lose weight. And that is because the parasite will make sure you experience sugar and fat cravings throughout the day. My jaw dropped when I read that. I immediately recognized Judith and her struggle and frustration with her cravings. I was suffering from the same things, but I never minded being a bigger guy and eating what I wanted. The reason for these two specific cravings of fat and sugar is that the parasite needs them both. It eats the fat and needs more and more of it as it grows and mutates. And the sugar helps the parasite stay hidden from your immune system. The parasite eats up sugar and poops it out as a weird enzyme that your immune system has never seen before. The immune system goes on high alert, trying to clean your gut of this strange enzyme, never noticing the parasite that lurks behind it. So the parasite can stay cozy and protected deep inside your belly. And all that fat keeps it nice and plump and pumping out more eggs to take over your gut. But it wreaks havoc inside your gut by making your body constantly fight foreign enzymes that don't belong there. So you will also be experiencing bloating, abdominal pain, improper digestion, problems with constipation and/or diarrhea. Not to mention that your body's immune response keeps it in permanent battle mode. This will lead to you feeling sluggish, unmotivated, tired, and craving food all the time. It's because your immune system perceives it is under constant attack. Those were all the things that Judith was battling with all of the time. But in the long run, problems caused by these parasites are far more dangerous. They were not just making her gain weight and messed up with her digestion, but they were also causing her immune system fatigued, which exposed her to a host of infections. Not to mention that all of the sugar processed badly in her gut was creating long-term blood sugar problems. Regular detoxes are one solution to clear the body of toxins, parasites, and overgrown bacteria. But unfortunately, if done wrongly, they can be even more dangerous than doing nothing at all. Because if the parasites feel at risk of dying inside of you, they release toxic chemicals. According to Victoria Health, this poisoning can lead to verminous intoxication, which produces symptoms of dizziness, inability to think clearly, hunger pains, high or low blood sugar, poor digestion, and allergies. In the case of Judith, the intoxication was so bad that it led her to have toxic shock syndrome and landed her straight in the hospital. Now I finally had an answer for what had happened, and still had no clue at all about how to help her or how to keep her protected in the future. I could not go on as if nothing had happened, knowing that all of us, including our beautiful daughter, had bellies full of parasites, putting us at risk for all of these diseases and health risks. I for sure packed up a few pounds over the years, and my body was clearly not what it used to be. I was suffering from constipation and insomnia, but when I heard our daughter complaining about belly cramps almost every day, I knew I had no time to lose. Desperate, I started writing again. This time on the parasite recovery groups on Facebook and forums. In one of those groups, I wrote to Apo Maz and was lucky enough that he decided to write back. He was a colon cleanse specialist and a member of the Gastroenterology Association of Naturopathic Physicians. He had been a practicing physician in South America for more than 25 years before he moved to the States, where he started his own clinic. His focus was exclusively on using the natural holistic solutions of his ancestors, the Mayans. Drugs to treat malaria, glaucoma, and even memory loss, among many other diseases, are derived from plants found in the Amazon rainforest. Healing plants of the Amazon that are only recently being put under the microscope of modern science had been healing countless generations in the Amazon, and Apo knew all of them. Some of these plants have been proven efficient over the past years in over 120 clinical trials. His culture had a rich tradition of shaman-led ceremonies and potions for cleansing the human body and flushing the gut of parasites. So Apo knew exactly what herbs I needed for Judith. Some ingredients he recommended I found myself, and others he sent them himself, telling me they were very difficult to find in pure form. He wrote to me in one of the hundreds of messages we exchanged that most tribes, including the Mayans, used a combination of fasting and herbs to eliminate parasites. The fasting was meant to weaken the worms before the herbs cleared them out of the body. Such a protocol clears the gut without the dangerous side effects of parasitic intoxication. The specific herbs that have been known for thousands of years also have none of the side effects of modern medication, such as tinidazole or ivermectin, that are regularly prescribed for parasitic infections. Luckily, he had also modified the recipe for the modern man so that fasting would no longer be necessary. Most of the patients he treated simply could not afford to rest in bed for a 2-week-long fasting period. He knew so much about the body and about these plants, and he had helped thousands of people already. I knew I could trust this man. So I prepared the tincture he recommended and slowly started giving it to Judith as a morning smoothie she was having with her breakfast. And only a couple days later, I heard her scream from the top of her lungs as soon as she went to the bathroom. She felt something was a bit off as soon as she sat on the toilet, and soon after the parasites just started rushing out of her body. She was mortified and disgusted and would not allow me to see them at all. It took me a couple of hours of convincing to even get her to tell me what had happened in the bathroom. She told me of how many eggs and parasites she had seen in the toilet, but she did feel her body lighter and felt less sick. 2 days later, I noticed that she looked much more energized, which was no wonder given that all of the minerals and vitamins in her food were assimilated by her body instead of going to the greedy visitors in her gut. She also dropped the first 6 pounds, but I didn't think much of it. She had lost and gained so many pounds over the years as she tried to slim down that she didn't dare to get excited. But as she kept eliminating more and more parasites, she started slimming down with no effort at all. She was just out of the hospital, so any sort of diet or physical exercise was out of the question, and still she was losing weight rapidly. She noticed 1 dress size going down, then 2, then 3. We went back to the doctors to check that everything was okay with her. I was thrilled that she was finally slimming down, but worried to see my wife shrinking so fast right before my eyes. Within 2 months, she had dropped 113 pounds, but all the tests came back better than ever. Her blood sugar was better than before she had her daughter. Her anemia had disappeared, and a scan of her abdomen showed that most of the inflammation in her stomach and gut had vanished. What was even more amazing was that even after all the weight she had lost, her belly looked toned and flab, not flabby skin. But I didn't even need tests telling me all of this because I could see the change in her vitality. She was once again the woman I met in my 20s. She was motivated, full of energy, with a glowing skin and no more digestive problems. I thanked God every night and Apo because I had gotten my wife back. And it was the first time in my life I was thrilled to see her have the self-confidence to ask me to go shopping for a completely new wardrobe. I said yes without even blinking. I also tried the formula myself. If her body was riddled with parasites, there was simply no way I had gotten away from them. And let me tell you, the change I experienced was nothing short of a miracle. I saw with my own two eyes how many parasites were freely camping in my gut for God knows how long. And after I started eliminating them, I started burning fat like I was constantly training for a marathon. First 5 pounds, then 10, and in 2 weeks, I felt my entire body filled with energy. I could play with little Hannah all day long without having to stop and catch my breath every 5 minutes. I found time and energy to start repairing things around the house that I had postponed for more than 10 years. I even picked up woodworking as a hobby again, dusting off my old saw and drill bits. After a whole month, I felt like a new man. That night, I went back online and started begging Oppo to work with me to make this recipe widely available. How could we not try to help? Millions of Americans needed this, and he was just going to let them get eaten from the inside, condemned to a life of being overweight, exhausted, and even riddled with medical problems? How could anyone who cared about people let this happen? And especially a physician like him. But after fighting me over a couple of messages, he just stopped replying altogether. I understood he did not trust modern technology and mass production, but still, people needed help. So I did something crazy. I started looking into him and discovered that he had a clinic in Arizona. So I bought myself a plane ticket to go there. This guy seemed so old-fashioned that he never made a website for his holistic clinic. I only found some references on online forums where other people were talking about him and how he had transformed their lives. But I was determined I would not leave empty-handed. I had prepared an entire motivational speech to convince this man he simply had to make his solution available to every man, woman, and child. So I showed up on the doorstep of his clinic. I stormed right past a lady I assumed to be his secretary. I had to hurry because I was afraid I'd be thrown out since I had no appointment. I headed straight for the office with his name on it. But as soon as I walked in, my jaw dropped because inside the office stood a man hunched over by his many years, moving as slow as a snail, who looked at me in utter confusion. He looked as ancient as the Mayans. This clearly could not be the guy who I had talked to online. Behind me, I heard his secretary.
Mr. Clark, your appointment is not now. Sorry, Grandpa. Mr. Clark is a bit confused about his appointment time.
And as she led me out of the office, I saw the scared look on her face and realized she must have been the person behind the profile I had talked to. She recognized me as soon as I walked in because she had talked to my Facebook avatar for weeks already. She begged me not to tell the old man that she was giving out his recipes to people online. Apparently, he was so against technology that he forbade any TVs, computers, or even phones in his office. Anyone who wanted an appointment had to send a letter on actual paper. But his granddaughter had secretly been helping people online. She just could not convince the old man and was too scared to insist. She feared any upset might put his health at risk. I mean, the man had been a medic during World War II, for crying out loud. He was 103. She was secretly taking appointments by phone, and she tried to help as many folks as she could without getting the clinic flooded with requests. She pleaded with me to just give the unused solution to some people I knew and even use it myself, but to leave the old man alone. But how could I? I knew I needed to get his herbal mixture out there. I felt bad that she was going to get scolded by the old man, but I had to get her on my side. There was simply no way I was giving up after making the trip all the way there in order to see him. After a couple hours of talking to her, I finally convinced her to be on my side and tried to persuade the old man together. In the beginning, he was furious. He told me he would never accept the legacy of his ancestors to be dirtied by the demons of technology. But I explained to him just how many people needed this help. That more than half of Americans had parasites that led them to be sick every day, gain weight, and have digestion problems, lack of vitamins and minerals, and blood sugar problems. And most of them were not even aware of how important it is to get those parasites out in a safe and quick manner. I told him that the healing men of his tribe would not leave so many helpless women and children alone and sick. I was lucky I had done all that research on my own because it really came in handy. It took another 3 visits in the next week to finally see him giving in even a little bit and starting to trust that I would never betray his secrets to Big Pharma or some huge company just looking to make a profit while destroying his recipe. But I had to find out the full recipe because I still didn't know what some of the ingredients were. The ones he had mailed to me were a complete mystery. This was a huge struggle with the old man, but I insisted and convinced him I would only support something that honored the legacy of his forefathers and treated his herbs with respect. So slowly, I started flying back and forth and learning more about the ingredients that made this formula so potent. I tried to keep up and figure out how to deliver it in an easy way to prepare an easy-to-use fashion. Most of the other protocols for eliminating parasites involve some form of fasting and complicated recipes. It is why juice cleanses, fasting, and other liquid-based cleanses seem to work well. The fasting plus the careful selection of ingredients that you prepare yourself weakens the parasite. But right after you finish a detox, you tend to crave even more fat and sugar because the parasite wants to restock, which leads not only to you getting back all the pounds you lost, but to gaining even more. I also helped out with some of the suggestions I had after all the research I had done on my own on detoxes and parasite flushing. And that is how we ended up with a 6-step formula that is capable of cleaning you from the inside out without putting your life at risk. No more detoxes that could land you in the hospital when your body gets overloaded with parasite toxins. I wanted everyone to experience the complete health overhaul that my wife had. Step 1, starve out the parasite. So the first step is starving out the parasites without starving yourself. Starving out the parasites is an essential first step because the parasite needs to be weakened so that it can't fight back against the following steps in the formula. This ingredient in the formula weakens the parasites because its active ingredients disrupt the parasite's digestive system. It happens so fast that the parasites don't even know what hit them. The parasite is starving slowly but surely as this potent plant is doing to him exactly what he was doing to you, taking over his digestive process. This herb that has been used since ancient times in all the cultures of Asia and Europe was given as a tea to warriors so that they would gain courage prior to battle. Now we know that the real reason it made warriors stronger is because it starved parasites in their guts, meaning that more of the vitamins and minerals in the warriors' diets were not stolen by the parasite. Instead of having an army of sleepy, sluggish, and exhausted fighters, Greek and Roman warriors were stronger and full of life. This powerful herb is fennel, and in Chinese and Hindu cultures, it is used to treat snake bites and scorpion stings because it speeds up the elimination of the poison. The essential oil is steam distilled from crushed fennel seeds. It is pale yellow with a sweet, spicy, fresh-smelling, reminiscent of aniseed, and has anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial properties. Fennel is also effective against worms and parasites due to the volatile oil anethol, which is what gives fennel its characteristic anise flavor. Fennel was recommended as an herb for weight reduction to make people more lean that are too fat, according to the 17th century herbalist and astrologer Nicholas Culpeper. Step 2, paralyze the parasite to stop any damage to your gut. The second step in the formula is the most important one, and it comes straight out of the Mayan shaman's potion book. In the ancient Mayan civilization, they honored this plant and called it the tree of life. Some legends tell of this fruit bringing people back from the brink of death. And it doesn't look far-fetched to science now, considering this fruit reduces the risk of heart disease, improves blood glucose control in people with diabetes, lowers blood pressure, and improves wound healing. Modern science has shown that the seeds of the delicious plant, the papaya, cause damage to the nervous system of parasites, essentially paralyzing them prior to elimination. While it might have a reputation for being bitter, the Mayans found a sweet way to prepare it, so the taste is pleasant without affecting the properties of the ingredient. And the healing capacity of the papaya seeds is simply jaw-dropping. A study that focused on 60 children with evidence of intestinal parasites reported that 71% of children who received only this ingredient as treatments cleared their stool of parasites. Another study from 2014 identified this Mayan miracle ingredient as an alternative solution to eliminating parasites in farm animals. The other plant used to paralyze parasites in the gut grows in the wild and is used as a treatment for irritable bowel syndrome. The oils inside it are natural pest repellents and are grown in gardens as a natural alternative to pesticides. The oil I'm talking about is peppermint, which contains menthol and menthone. Basically, they castrate the parasite so that it is no longer able to deposit eggs inside your gut. A 2011 study from the medical journal Molecules found that incubating peppermint oil with several strains of Staphylococcus aureus, some of which were antibiotic resistant, inhibited the production of an important bacterial toxin. That means that even the toughest parasites that can survive the strongest antibiotics could not survive a good dose of peppermint oil. Step 3. Flush out any mature hosts. The third important step, once the parasites in your gut have basically been frozen in place, is to eliminate the mature hosts, the ones capable of producing the most damage. For this, the doctor used a plant that is so widespread in North and South America that you will not find a single tribe not using it. Unfortunately, it's been completely ignored by modern science, but natural medicine practitioners know that this soothing remedy is able to calm any irritation inside the body and on the skin. American soldiers would use it to heal gunshot wounds during the American Revolution. The plant is slippery elm, which basically turns your gut into a water slide that flushes out parasites every single time you go to the toilet. It stimulates the production of nerve endings in the gastrointestinal tract, leading to increased mucus secretion, which it also supplements in the mucilage. This means the parasites that were holding on to your intestines for dear life will be trying to hold on to a very slippery surface that won't offer them any grip at all. Weakened, paralyzed, and with nothing to hold on to, they will be evicted quickly and with no effort on your part. The doctor also added clove for this step in the process because the clove helps the intestines secrete a gel-like mucus that cocoons and traps the paralyzed worms, making sure they can do no further damage on their way out of your gut. Step 4. Make your gut toxic for the parasites. Now that you've gotten rid of the big mature parasites, you need to make sure their eggs are flushed too. So step 4 in the complex formula is making your gut an impossible place for the eggs to hatch or to stay. This will make it much easier to flush them out because they have biological warming systems that tell them if the environment becomes too toxic. Hailed by the Pharmaceutical Society of Australia as the strongest natural remedy against ringworm, tapeworm, pinworm, and other parasites of the intestine, this natural hole has been used against many health problems. Tribal cultures in Asia, South America, and Europe have used them in treating and soothing skin conditions and evicting unwelcome visitors. The ingredient I'm talking about is the fresh green hulls of black walnuts. These hulls are highly astringent, making the parasite eggs dry up and contract, which will trigger the warning signs that your gut is no longer a welcoming place for them. Better yet, the hulls will protect your gut through the fatty omega-3 content, an oil that the parasites can't digest themselves. So while your gut is getting stronger at fighting the parasite eggs are drying up and slowly killed. This makes them want to get out of your body as soon as possible. We've also added pumpkin seeds, which are known to help clear roundworm infections in the intestinal tract. They are able to kill parasite eggs as they contain a natural fat which is toxic to them. These seeds have the ability to paralyze worm eggs and get them dropping off the intestinal walls. Step 5. Turn your stomach acid into the most powerful cleanser. For the 5th step, Appa was using a plant that has been used against intestinal worms ever since ancient Egypt. This parasite-fighting plant is full of thujone, an active ingredient that has powerful anti-parasitic properties. Studies done on parasites, published in the Journal of Helminthology, showed that it causes parasites to lose muscle function. But the most important ingredient in this plant is absinthin. This stimulates your entire digestive system to optimize and produce the proper amount of gastric acid. The reason parasites can even make it alive and well in your gut is because one of the best parasite killers is not working well: your own gastric acid. It usually has the wrong consistency and is unbalanced because of all the additives and colorings in our modern food. This rebalancing natural ingredient is woodworm, and it presses the reset button on your stomach's gastric acid, making it strong enough to kill any unwelcome visitors, better digest the food you eat, and reduce unpleasant symptoms of IBS, constipation, and bloating. At my own suggestion, from the research I had done, we also decided to add marshmallow root. This incredible root stimulates the lining of the stomach to repair itself. That means the stomach acid will be powerful enough to kickstart your digestion, as it should, while not affecting you at all. No more acid reflux or heartburn because your stomach will be fortified and strong. Step 6, strengthen your immune system to detect any future parasite. These parasites are very smart, and as I've explained before, they know how to hide from your immune system by turning sugar into a weird enzyme that your body immediately attacks. That way, your immune system never goes after the real culprit of your weight gain and health problems, the parasite. You need strong tools to unmask this lurking danger in your gut, so we added oregano oil. It contains a strong combination of chemicals that bind to the weird sugary enzyme and other substances excreted by the parasites, making them more visible to the immune system. Oregano oil is so good at alerting the human immune system to danger that it has been used in northern regions of Africa for combating poisonous snake bites. It was a long process to get here, but at the end, I was so proud of what we had both achieved. A formula capable of restoring your health, helping you shed unwanted pounds caused by parasites in your gut, and leaving you with squeaky clean insides. Most of the formula had already been tested in Oppo's clinic by hundreds of people that had visited him throughout the years. But we had also tweaked it together. So we needed to make sure that the new improved formula was even better than the original. There was only one way to do that. Test it. So I went back to the forums that had helped me in the first place and wrote about this amazing formula and what it did. I offered to give it for free to anyone who was willing to try and provide some honest feedback about it. People were so impressed by the steps that we took to create a formula that would protect their health while flushing out the parasites that by the end of the day, we had more than 124 people who wanted to give it a try. We could not afford to make that much of it for free, so we selected 50 of them to send samples to. And then we had to wait. And the waiting was definitely worthwhile because only 2 weeks later, we were flooded with positive messages, encouraging us, thanking us, and urging us to make this available to everyone.
I can't begin to tell you what a radical transformation this was. Not only did I lose 37 pounds I had been carrying around for years, but my body feels clean and healthy. My test results look like those of a teenager, and I have never been more energized in my life.
I am a huge skeptic when it comes to alternative medicine, and I always thought parasitic cleanses were useless. So when my wife got us both on this waiting list for a parasitic cleanse formula, I went along with it rolling my eyes. I'm not going to be graphic, but there were both actual worms and egg cases. I'm actually still shaken to think about all those fellows just camping in my gut. But I lost 24 pounds already, and I feel so much more alert and buzzing throughout the day.
It started expelling parasites after 2 doses. I'm about a week and a half into using this formula. It works. I didn't know losing weight was so easy once you get your body clean and clear of parasites. I now think everyone has parasites to a certain degree. Weight gain, digestive issues, muscle aches, joint aches, fatigue. It used to be common practice to cleanse 1 or 2 times a year. Once that got forgotten when medical practice became a business. But I am so grateful to have a clean body and to have lost 72 pounds with no effort.
I was a little skeptical at first, but I figured, what could it hurt? When I found this all-natural formula on the forum, I had to give it a go. The first week I tried this, I noticed how much was coming out of me, and I lost 5 pounds. And now, a month later, I feel like a completely different person. Where before I was craving sweets all the time, now I'm mostly indifferent, and I don't need to eat as much. I feel like I have more energy, I'm lighter, I'm more alert, and stomach issues aren't really a thing anymore. I feel healthy again and slimmer than when I was in college.
Seeing these results convinced us that we were doing the right thing. Since we have finalized this formula and our initial tests, 42,505 people have tried it, and every single one of them has managed to lose weight, get better digestion, and more energy every single day since starting out on it. I want you to experience the same for yourself right now. And that's why I'm proud of our work and can't wait for you to try out Cleanest Body, the world's first 100% natural solution to flush out any parasites living inside your gut. Inside every single drop of Cleanest Body is a bespoke proprietary formula of 11 high-quality herbal parasite flushers that will clean your body of vitamin-eating and sugar-craving parasites that make you gain weight. You will once again be in control of what you eat without dealing with excess sugar in your gut and excess fat deposits that are dictated by the parasites. Unlike any other cleanses out there, this one won't make you feel sick for days, and it won't let the parasite fight back with toxins. It will also allow you to stay safe and protected in the long run so that no other parasites can enter your body and take control of what you eat and when you eat. Once Cleanest Body has eliminated the parasites, you will experience healthy, rapid weight readjustment. You will return to your biologically appropriate weight in no time at all, and you will feel all the benefits of getting minerals and vitamins out of your food. These all-natural ingredients are extremely easy to tolerate by the body, and they are not habit-forming. With no more parasites to greedily gobble up all the good stuff in your food, you will finally see your blood sugar returning to normal, and you will feel more energized every day. You will feel your body getting stronger and more reliable. I promised Oppo that there would be no compromises when giving out this formula to people. And I am a man of my word, because my word is my bond. That is why I made sure that Cleanest Body is manufactured in the USA at our FDA registered and GMP certified facility using state-of-the-art precision engineered machinery and under the strictest and most sterile standards. Each ingredient is 100% plant-based, soy-free, dairy-free, vegetarian, and non-GMO, and put through additional third-party inspections and quality control to ensure high purity and potency. There is no other cleanse like Clean Body out there. No other cleanse that will not cause uncomfortable and potentially dangerous side effects. Losing extra fat with Cleanest Body is so easy. It takes just 5 seconds. The bottle comes with a dropper, which you need to fill once a day, and add to your orange juice, tea, or plain water. As a liquid, it is rapidly absorbed by your gut, and it will quickly start evicting the parasites once and for all. Yet it's more powerful than any diet or exercise on the planet. And that is because a clean body is a blank slate. It allows you to take control of what you eat and when you eat, and it will allow your body to properly process any food that ends up in your gut. It's time for you to finally get the slim, attractive body you've been dreaming of and you deserve. And it's time to get back to feeling clean and healthy like you should. Close your eyes and imagine that for a second. Imagine wearing the dress or the jeans that you haven't fit in for ages. Imagine having all the energy to finish what you set out to do. Imagine seeing the happiness and pride in your kids' and grandkids' eyes as you play with them with energy surging throughout your body and with no discomfort. Imagine everyone you know amazed at your incredible changes you've made to your physique in such a short space of time, or seeing your husband or wife look at you with love and desire. And doing this all without dieting or cardio or skipping a meal, because your body will get back to normal, eating and working for itself rather than to keep countless parasites alive. Isn't that something that is worth the effort? Luckily, the effort will be only 5 seconds a day, because that's all it takes to drip this formula into your preferred drink. You can do it any time of the day, and it's even more efficient if you drip it into a sweet juice that will make the parasite gobble it up right away. And it won't even cost you that much. When we talked to the manufacturers, we asked what price would cover the cost for selling this product. They were so sure we had an amazing product on our hands that they advised us to market it as a high-end product and demand no less than $990 for a 30-day supply. The guy who helped us set up our website was convinced that with some connections to high-end websites, we could sell the flush for no less than $480. But I could not do that. I knew how important it was that this formula got to the millions of Americans that are being eaten alive by parasites. I could not overcharge regular folks for the gut flush they desperately needed. It simply was not the right thing to do. And I had promised Oppo that I would not let his formula get into the hands of Big Pharma. And my word is my bond. So I negotiated with suppliers, with the factory, even with the people making the packaging, to get this rare combination of ingredients to the lowest price possible. Cleanest Body has already transformed the lives of 42,505 mothers, grandmothers, husbands, and brothers. And I know how much of a difference it can make for the health and well-being of your loved ones. I will never forget the joy Judith felt once she was able to slip back into her high school jeans after years and years of failed diets. And I will never forget what it meant to me to not have to deal with an upset stomach all the time, or to know our daughter's health is protected and she won't have to deal with weight gain or irritable bowel syndrome. Until these parasites are completely eliminated from all around us, our food and our water supply, I want to make sure regular folks are properly protected, that anyone can feel safe and healthy in their bodies, and that parasites are not controlling them or their diet. I want you to be the next success story, and Cleanest Body will make that happen for you. So for a limited time, this parasite flushing formula will not be $990, it will not be $480, and it won't even cost you $100. This easy to use and effective solution will be at a one-time fee of $69 for a 30-day supply. Yes, just $69, which is the lowest price you'll ever see, and that I can possibly guarantee while not making any compromise on the quality of the ingredients. But before you order, you need to know that the formula does take time to work, especially if it's been a long time since your last parasite detox. It will take even longer if you've never done a parasite detox before, because the damage done to your body by the parasite toxins can take a long time to heal. Especially if you're over 35 years old and you've lived in parts of America where the piping system has been rotten for more than 50 years. Oppo recommends you follow the Cleanest Body protocol for at least 3 to 6 months, so it has enough time to flush out all of the parasites and their eggs, to clean your gut of the toxic enzymes and chemical compounds that the parasites have been depositing there, to make your gut friendly for their eggs, and to teach their body to fight back against future parasitic attacks. So, to guarantee lifetime results, I'm going to let you order 3 months or 6 months worth of Cleanest Body at a bulk buy deep discount that is on top of the reduced price. You can get the formula only today and only for the 6-bottle package at only $49. That's $1.50 a day to clean out your entire body. That's why 97% of people order 6 bottles at a time, and many double their order because they want everyone they love to get clean and healthy. And the shipping is on me, because I want to make it as accessible as I possibly can to every American family out there. Most are still not convinced that they have parasites themselves, but they rush to buy because they have seen the amazing weight loss that their friends and acquaintances have achieved after the cleanse. And who would say no to easy and healthy weight loss with no gym time or diets? And on top of the deep discount and free shipping, I will give you all the information you need to keep yourself and your family protected. If you're smart and you order the 3 or 6 month supply, you'll also get 2 bonus online guides worth $176 that are absolutely free only on this page. Bonus number 1, Secrets of the Mayan Shaman, Radical Body Renewal in 30 days or less. This is a $97 value. So many health secrets and healing plants are just being uncovered and studied from the Amazon jungle. Most of them won't be officially available to our generation. It takes over 20 years to properly study and categorize them. But that doesn't mean you have to miss out. Find out sacred tribal wisdom. These 3 ancient morning habits reverse your body's age by more than 10 years. The Mayan cleansing bath. Adding this oil to your bathing ritual sucks toxins right out of your skin, renewing it up to 25 times faster no matter your age. 5 foods that the Mayans consider cursed, and science agrees you should avoid at all costs. It's not sugars and it's not carbs. Better than Thai massage, ancient pressure points that Mayans used to activate your body for surging energy. And some say this is 3 times more effective than coffee. Bonus number 2, the 8 government screw-ups that are costing you over $225,000 in healthcare costs. This is a $79 value. 28 European countries banned this, but it is still in 193 products in the US and commonly found in most supermarkets. This ingredient is causing rapid cell death in your gut, and you need to stop eating it now. Why you should never step on the grass. How playgrounds and parks are teeming with toxins that authorities are doing nothing about. The one essential oil they tried censoring that can renew gut issue with no medical intervention. Tips and tricks of a detox fanatic who slashed his healthcare costs to only $50 over the past 20 years. I want you to start a new life for yourself. Not for the parasites that look to stuff you full of fat and sugar. I am taking the risk of putting this formula out here at such an outrageously discounted price because I want to see this change for every single American out there. Look below this video to find out if Cleanest Body is still in stock. You'll see there are 3 money-saving options. Do the right thing for your loved ones and choose your package that will get every one of them cleansed on the inside. Once you have chosen your package, you will proceed to our 100% encrypted and secure checkout page that looks like this. Fill in the details, submit your order, and we'll ship it out. No hidden charges, no surprises, just the safe and secure one-time simple fee. And you can contact our helpful customer support agents to get updates or ask us any questions you may have. You won't find Cleanest Body on Amazon. You won't find it in any other provider. I have kept my promise to Oppo, and I will keep on doing that. I will never compromise on quality, but our stocks are running out fast. So if you want your very own clean body, act fast. I removed all middlemen to bring you the best pricing available, but we are already running low on stock. The prices you see now are not guaranteed beyond tonight, because some of these ingredients are rare and in high demand precisely in the local regions where they are grown. And local producers will always give what they have to their own people rather than to some overseas stranger. I'm trying to keep this available for as many folks as I can, but prices are rising fast on some of these herbs and supply is low. The last thing I want is for you to come back in a few hours and see prices that have shot through the roof or an out of stock sign. I hate to say this, but the clock is ticking and you have a chance to act now or regret it later. If you close this page, there are hundreds of others who can't wait to add these bottles to their cart and kickstart their journey to a cleaner body. Don't waste a second more when the solution is right at your fingertips and you have a chance to claim your discount and choose that package that you want for you and your loved ones. And even though we have only 5-star reviews in our inboxes and praises from everyone, I understand you might still think this is some kind of horror movie. It does seem unbelievable that a civilized country like America is full of parasites. Unfortunately, a well in the ground would be safer than some of the pipes we have running under our cities. I know it is paralyzing to even think about it, but you can change things for the better right now. And to make sure you give it a try for yourself, I've made it so there's literally no risk on your part. I'm backing your order with our ironclad 60 days money back guarantee. That means you don't need to decide anything today. I'm not asking for a yes, just a maybe. Most people choose the 6-bottle package since they get free shipping as well as 2 bonus books valued at $176. Give this cleansing formula a try for a full 60 days. And if you don't feel the effects and don't see how many parasites come out of your body in the very first week, if you don't feel yourself starting to lose weight and random sweet cravings, then just get your money back. No questions asked. If you use this cleanse and you don't feel it helped you in any way, I don't want your money. Just please give the bottles away to someone else who might need them because there are so many infected Americans. All you need to do is contact me within 60 days and you'll get every cent back. I know this sounds crazy, but that's how much I believe in this solution. I can't make it any fairer than that. You might not know it, but you are at an important crossroads right now. I want you to make the best decision for yourself so you won't have to live with regret later. Option 1 is to ignore everything you've just learned and go back to business as usual. Pretend like you don't have a gut full of all sorts of parasites that are draining you of energy, making you gain unwanted weight, and messing with your cravings and blood sugar. Maybe you pray that they will go away in time on their own. You will go on, as millions of Americans do every day, while getting closer and closer to dangerous medical complications and living in daily discomfort. You will pretend that you don't know the truth about what is lurking in the water, the pipes, and your soil. But I think you already know where this solution leads you. Constant stomach problems, extra weight, constant sugar and fat cravings, and just being miserable, half asleep, through every single one of your days. If you choose this path, ask yourself, how will you start getting better? What will happen to get your body clean and in good shape? You might tell yourself that it's too big of a commitment or that you can deal with this later. But later means more parasites, more damage to your gut, and more problems down the line. You can make this radical change to a clean, renewed body and gut. We both know you want to do this because you are tired of all the pain you are facing every day. The possibility of a healthier life and leaner body is right in front of you. You can make this commitment knowing that it will not be anywhere near as harsh as fasting or a run-of-the-mill detox that will make you feel terrible before you start feeling good. I want you to take the time and consider the second option. It's the only one you really have if you hope to get the healthy body you want. No one can stay healthy with a gut full of parasites and toxins. Give Cleanest Body a try today, risk-free, and you have 60 days to figure it out, just like 42,505 other Americans have, that it really is the only sane choice. Imagine finally knowing there is nothing lurking in your gut, stealing all your precious vitamins and minerals. Nothing compelling you to have cravings for sugar and fat and making you store unwanted pounds for its own benefit. Make the smart choice for yourself and your loved ones before Cleanest Body runs out, and see the pounds melting off, your energy surging, and start feeling in the best shape of your life again. If you're not thrilled with your results within 2 whole months, then just email our 24/7 customer service team and we'll immediately refund you with no questions asked. But remember that if you walk away now, you might not find this product at this price, or we might be out of stock. Only on this page can you make the radical change you've been looking for. So act now and make the right decision for yourself and your family. Choose the package that is right for you and your loved ones. I can't wait to hear how Cleanest Body has changed your life. Still here? Here are some frequently asked questions. What are parasites, and why do most of us have them? Recent water pipe surveys warn that 44% of Americans have contaminated water from infrastructure that is considered outdated and improper, meaning pipes that have become a breeding ground for new mutated parasites. These gut invaders take over the human body, causing uncontrollable weight gain and massive health problems. Most people don't know they even have parasites, thinking their symptoms are anything from digestive problems to irritable bowel syndrome to just being lazy. You could be infected even if you don't drink the water or use it for cooking. A lot of these foreign invaders can get in through your skin when you shower or touch contaminated surfaces. How long before I see results? You also mentioned weight loss. How much weight can I lose with this? You'll start to see results immediately with the potent flushing formula. Cleanest Body has already transformed the lives of 42,505 mothers, grandmothers, husbands, and brothers. If you are looking for consistent weight loss, you will need to flush your body on a regular basis. We cannot guarantee specific results because every body is different, but people have lost from 10 pounds, 30 pounds, and some even 150 pounds. Give it an honest try and see how fast you can get back to your body's baseline weight when it is not influenced by parasites. Can I use Cleanest Body if I'm taking other medicines or supplements? We always advise that you ask your qualified healthcare professional before you take Cleanest Body. On our side, we made sure that Cleanest Body is manufactured in the USA at our FDA registered and GMP certified facility using state-of-the-art precision engineered machinery and under the strictest and most sterile standards. Each ingredient is 100% plant-based, soy-free, dairy-free, vegetarian, and non-GMO, and put through additional third-party inspections and quality control to ensure high purity and potency. If you want to make sure, always take Cleanest Body 2 hours before or after any other medicine or supplements to make sure there are no interactions between them. What is your money-back guarantee? It is a risk-free option that we are offering to you because we believe in this flushing formula so much. It means you can try Cleanest Body for a full 60 days. And if you are not completely convinced by the amazing results consisting of a surge in energy, strength in your body, less brain fog, less cravings, and healthy weight loss, then just get your money back, no questions asked. How many bottles should I order? The formula takes time to work, especially if it's been a long time since your last parasite detox, and more if you haven't done a single flush before. Oppo recommends you take Cleanest Body for at least 3 to 6 months. Most of our clients order 6 bottles at a time, and many double their order because they want everyone they love to get clean and healthy. It is a smart choice because those who buy the 6-bottle pack will get a massive discount, free shipping, and 2 online guides worth $176. That's a lot of value and savings, especially since you'll be seeing results quickly and will be reordering again. The prices you see now are not guaranteed beyond tonight because some of these ingredients are rare and in high demand precisely in the local regions where they are grown. How do I take Cleanest Body? It takes just 5 seconds. The bottle comes with a dropper, which you need to fill once a day and add to your orange juice, tea, or plain water. As a liquid, it is rapidly absorbed by your gut and will quickly start evicting the parasites once and for all. Is this a one-time purchase? Yes. Your order is a one-off purchase with no hidden auto-ship clauses or charges. The price you see on the checkout page is the only price you will have to pay. Can I order Cleanest Body elsewhere? You will not find Cleanest Body on Amazon or any other provider. I promised I will never compromise on quality, so we make small batches only available on this page. And our stocks are running out fast, so make sure you don't miss out on your chance to get your package right now. What are the ingredients inside Cleanest Body? Inside every single drop of Cleanest Body is a bespoke proprietary formula of 11 high-quality herbal parasite flushers that will clean your body of sugar-craving parasites that make you gain weight.